Did you see that? It looks like a QB getting wrecked. And yes, it still happens. You don't get to be the man without getting hit by other men. Even you, Patrick Mahomes. But do all these sacks add up to a shorter NFL career? Is the toll really worth it? Does getting thrown to the wolves really cost you in the long run? Let's find out right after this. Hey y'all, I just had a birthday and I'm realizing more and more how hard it is to stay in shape in your late 40s. And nothing is more critical to both looking good and being healthy than your diet. That's where Factor comes in with delicious, healthy, fresh, never frozen, chef-crafted, and dietitian-approved meals that are ready to eat in 2 minutes. With popular options like keto, protein plus, or veggie, Factor makes meal prep and diets aligned to your goals really easy. There are 35 plus meals to choose from every week with over 60 add-on options. And check out these new 100% plant-based cold brew latte protein shakes. Not only do they have 18 grams of protein in each serving, but they are also caffeinated. The absolute perfect start to the morning before I work out. So after this video, head on over to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 5points50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. Again, that's factor75.com from the link below and use code 5points50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month of orders. Quick, think of a quarterback who you think got sacked into oblivion. You probably said former #1 overall pick David Carr, who in his first 5 years got sacked 249 times, including an NFL record 76 times his rookie year. Though he had a 10-year NFL career, after his first 5 seasons, he was never a full-time starter again, playing in only 14 games over the next 5 years. So you're thinking, cool, taking more sacks to your face than your mom on a Friday night shortens your NFL career. Let's end the video right now. But it's not that simple. Actually, a closer examination reveals that sacks alone are not the determining factor to shortening an NFL career. Other factors, including a quarterback's playing style, the quality of the offensive line, injury history, and even mental resilience, play crucial roles in defining how long a quarterback can sustain a successful career in the NFL, not just getting hit in the face. First, let's look at a study of quarterbacks drafted in the first round between 1975 and 2004, where a positive relationship was found between the number of games a quarterback played and the total number of sacks they endured. For example, John Elway, who played in 234 games, took a staggering 516 sacks. Similarly, Ben Roethlisberger, known for extending plays, endured 554 sacks over 249 games. The data revealed a correlation coefficient of 0.89 between games played and total sacks taken, indicating that quarterbacks with longer careers are more likely to have accumulated a high number of sacks simply by virtue of having played more games. At first glance, this might suggest that enduring sacks is an unavoidable consequence of being in the league. However, the analysis also revealed that the relationship between games played and the rate of sacks taken per game was pretty weak, with a correlation of just 0.10. This shows that while quarterbacks may accumulate more sacks over time, those who take more sacks per game do not necessarily have shorter careers. Okay, video over again. Not so fast. This discrepancy points to a more complex interplay of factors that determine how long a quarterback can continue playing at a high level. Quarterbacks who are consistently sacked at high rates can undergo career-altering trajectories that impact their longevity. Let's go back to David Carr, who took more hits than one of Floyd Mayweather's sparring partners. Carr's career might not have been cut short from all the physical damage he took, but more likely the lack of protection kept him from developing as a passer, never letting him find the comfort of a clean pocket. His final season as a starter was indicative of this, where he took the fewest sacks of his career at 41, but was average stat-wise, throwing only 11 TDs to 12 picks and 2,667 yards. He was released by the Texans after that season. Similarly, Ryan Leaf, another high-profile draft pick, was sacked 65 times in just 25 games, contributing to his brief and tumultuous NFL career. When a quarterback whose career and life is a disaster outside the setting of getting sacked makes you wonder how many sacks Leaf himself was responsible for. However, it is important to recognize that some quarterbacks have endured high sack totals without experiencing a corresponding decline in longevity. Brett Favre, for example, took 525 sacks over his 302-game career, yet remained remarkably durable until the bitter end, starting an NFL record 297 consecutive games. Favre's longevity can be attributed to not only his physical resilience, but also his quick decision-making, a skill that allowed him to avoid more serious injuries that could have cut his career short. Also, painkillers. Of course, it's easy to make a quick decision when there's very little going on through your head in the first place. This contrast between Carr and Favre shows that while sacks can contribute to injury risk, other factors such as durability and mental toughness also play a critical role in determining how long a quarterback can sustain a successful career. One of the most significant factors influencing a QB's exposure to sacks is their playing style. Mobile quarterbacks who often leave the pocket to extend plays are more likely to be exposed to hits and sacks both in and out of the pocket. You might be thinking of Michael Vick, who was sacked 375 times in 143 games and missed time during his career from various injuries, but he had a 13-year NFL career which featured 2 years of rest in a federal penitentiary. Though Vick took a bunch of sacks, his size helped absorb much of the punishment. Another example you might be looking for is Robert Griffin III, whose career started promising but was marred with injuries. But surprisingly, he took very little sacks in his rookie campaign, only 30 in 15 contests. He, however, took punishing hits on QB runs, and the numbers don't tell the full story. But as he became less mobile due to having a knee made out of cardboard, he began to take more sacks, and he was no longer effective in the league. But he still loves croissants. What about pocket passers like Peyton Manning and Tom Brady? Despite them both being about as mobile as a Cybertruck waiting for a software update, they were masters of avoiding sacks by getting the ball out quickly. Manning, who was sacked 303 times over his 266-game career, had a remarkably low sack rate, but his sack-to-forehead ratio at Tennessee was pretty high. A lot of the sacks Manning did take as well were give-up plays where he was able to avoid getting really hit. His ability to read defenses and release the ball quickly often allowed him to avoid unnecessary contact. Just like me, you gotta love that quick release. Similarly, Brady, known for his quick release and exceptional awareness, has consistently ranked among the least sacked quarterbacks as he was playing well into his 40s. If only he was as good at announcing as he was at avoiding sacks.
Oh, don't leave me hanging.
Quarterbacks who can effectively balance mobility with the ability to protect themselves, such as Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, are often able to prolong their careers by avoiding unnecessary hits. Well, early Russell Wilson. On the other hand, quarterbacks who held onto the ball too long, like Ben Roethlisberger early in his career, may experience higher sack rates and more frequent injuries, though Roethlisberger's toughness allowed him to sustain a long career despite this early tendency. I mean, the dude went through a car's windshield. Getting hit by a human probably wasn't a big deal to him. But what about the O-line? Quarterbacks who play behind strong offensive lines are less likely to be sacked and therefore able to preserve their health and extend their careers. Tom Brady benefited from playing behind some of the best offensive lines in the league throughout his career, allowing him to avoid excessive sacks and injuries. Guys like Matt Light and Logan Mankins were unsung heroes in the 2000s, and a major reason Brady was able to stay upright outside of 2008. Quarterbacks who play behind weak offensive lines are far more likely to be sacked at high rates, which can lead to injuries and shorter careers. However, Matthew Stafford has had a long NFL career and he played behind some swinging gates for most of his life. Let's get to the point. Does taking sacks really shorten your NFL career? Yes, but only slightly. There's actually a more correlative category that is going to shorten your career, and it's pretty obvious. Quarterbacks who suffer major injuries, particularly to the shoulders, knees, or head, often see their career shortened or permanently altered. Andrew Luck, who was one of the most talented quarterbacks of his generation, retired unexpectedly in 2019 after a series of injuries that left him physically and mentally drained. So bad, in fact, he became a captain in the Civil War after his NFL career. Despite playing just 6 seasons, Luck was sacked 174 times in 86 games, and the cumulative effect of these hits, combined with other injuries, led to his early retirement. On the other hand, some quarterbacks have shown remarkable durability in the face of repeated hits, just like your mom. Brett Favre and Eli Manning both endured high sack totals, but managed to remain healthy enough to start hundreds of consecutive games. This durability is often a combination of physical resilience, proper conditioning, and an ability to avoid the most dangerous hits, either by sliding, throwing the ball away, or relying on their offensive line for protection. Tua Tagovailoa, please take notes. The mental demands placed on quarterbacks are immense, and mental resilience plays a crucial role in their longevity. The psychological toll of playing the quarterback position, particularly dealing with repeated hits and injuries, can lead to burnout or loss of confidence. Andrew Luck's retirement is one of the most prominent examples of how the mental strain of injury recovery can lead to a truncated career. Even quarterbacks who do not suffer major injuries must contend with the mental challenge of preparing for games week after week, while knowing that every play carries the risk of a career-altering hit. Look at Joey Harrington, who led the league in sack percentage his first 2 years, only taking 17, but also not being able to read a defense like Floyd Mayweather actually reading. Let's end with some recent examples of QBs who took a lot of sacks, and we'll let you decide for yourself once and for all. In 2023, Sam Howell, Bryce Young, Zach Wilson, and his brother Russell took the most sacks. As of right now, all of them are on the bench. Among the career least sacked QBs who are active right now based on sacks per pass attempt, Josh Allen, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, Jared beating Goff, and of course, number 1, Patrick Mahomes. The worst, Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson. So while there may not be such a direct correlation in sacks shortening your career, they do line up well with effectiveness. Until next time.